Andy was amazing. He was super duper funny and nice, and he was pretty good at building also.
Really? Hey LEGO fans, I'm here with Will and Crosby from LEGO Masters Junior. You've seen these guys building amazing things, and now we're going to find out what it was like for them to be on the show and take their LEGO building to the next level. So Will and Crosby, thanks so much for talking to me about your LEGO Masters experience. To start with, could you just tell me, each of you, what was your first LEGO set?
My first LEGO set was actually a Black Falcon Fortress that Blocks magazine editor Daniel Constancy gave me, which is actually my dad's cousin. But that kind of started me on my whole LEGO experience and journey.
Yeah, mine wasn't that special. I think it was a Spider-Man LEGO Junior set or something like that, but...
Well, to be fair, there's not many people your age who start with like a 1980s Lego castle set.
Yeah.
That's quite an unusual story. Spider-Man's more like, you know, what you expect to get, right? And like, do you guys have a particular favorite Lego theme at all?
I really have always liked castles just since I built that first one. But I think I like to jump around to all sorts of Lego themes, and I think any Lego is Lego, and it's fun to build with.
How about you, Crosby? What's your favorite theme?
Yeah, I really like building like cars and Technic stuff, but I'm not great at it without directions. I'm not great with Technic without directions, so.
We've seen you guys on LEGO Masters building super creatively. You don't need instructions and things like that unless you're building Technic, of course.
Yeah.
When did you both discover that side of Lego? When did you kind of break out of the instructions and start doing your own thing with that?
I think I started when I was about 10 years old, and I did my first Lego show. Philadelphia Brick Fest was when Daniel Konstanski invited me on to help him with his Hogwarts build. And I think that's the first time I really did some sort of creative building. And after that, it just kind of took off.
Yeah, I think mine mostly started like 3 years ago when I moved right next door to Will and found out that he was really big into it. That's when I kind of started moving from Lego sets to building my own stuff.
And what was the first stuff that you were building, Crosby? What did you kind of start with when you were building your own things?
Well, I started building like forests and stuff like that. Helping Will, like he built like a castle part of it, and I built like the forest coming off of it and stuff like that.
That was actually our first build that we did together. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like an all-time favorite build that each of you is like super proud of, where you're like, that's the one that was really special, that was really, really, really pleased with that?
I think it's that one, because we started on it a long time ago, and we've made like many advancements to it. We actually added running water to it eventually. So I think that's one of the ones we're most proud of.
And have you taken that to some Lego events and conventions and things?
It's been all over the US.
Amazing. Well, what's the best thing about going to a Lego show and like having your builds on display like that?
I think for me, it's more of the fact that you get to learn new techniques and see other people's builds.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to meet new people that are involved in the Lego community.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to like look around and look at other people's and see like, oh, I never realized you could do that with them and use Lego like that. So
yeah. And then how did you guys decide to team up on LEGO Masters? I feel like we've already had a hint at this.
Well, it kind of started. My mom found an application on Facebook for LEGO Masters. We filled out the application. We were actually really close to the deadline of the application, but we got it in on time. That stuff led to more stuff, and eventually they kind of asked me to grab a partner. I was like, oh, I know just who. Lives right next door. We can do all this stuff very easily, and I roped him into all this.
That's amazing. What builds are you guys working on at the moment? What's the next Lego project?
We actually have this one video game that we play. It's called Clash Royale, and we're kind of making some like a mock based on that. I actually have it if you want me to go grab it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's so much fun. I love how chunky it looks. It's got like that really like sort of cartoon aesthetic.
That was about like 1 day's worth of building. So
Oh,
yeah.
so when you're finished with this thing, it's going to be a huge layout if you can build that quickly,
that's
right?
the goal. We also want to try to like motorize it and kind of have it moving around.
Oh man, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Which of you does the functional building like that? Which of you is the kind of technical expert?
I think we both kind of do that. Like on the show, we both kind of worked with the mechanics of things, and
Yeah.
he was more of the one that would use the Spike Prime program and kind of program everything.
Yeah, we were definitely both new into like more of the motion stuff when we first got on the show. We didn't do a bunch of that beforehand, so it was kind of new to both of us.
But I do think that the whole experience really helped us work more with Lego Motion, and we
Yeah.
kind of learned a lot from it.
If you've enjoyed seeing Will and Crosby and everyone else's amazing creativity on LEGO Masters Junior, then be sure to go over to blocksmag.com and pick up some copies of Blocks magazine, where you can find quick build instructions created by Will, along with a load of other great LEGO content that's perfect for fans of the brick. What was it like when you stepped onto this set of the LEGO Masters for the first time?
I think it was so amazing to see what we saw on TV in person, and it was just like, it was crazy. They had so many Lego bricks and elements that were, at our arsenal and in our arsenal that we could use to build whatever we wanted, really.
Yeah, it was crazy, like, because I watched the show like for a couple of years before that, and it's just, I never imagined myself actually being on it.
And does it look like it does on TV when you're actually on set? Does it feel different in any way, or what's that like?
I think it almost feels cooler in person, but it looks basically the same as it does on TV.
I mean, how can it not be cool? It's like every LEGO fan's dream. And what was it like to meet Amy and Boone?
They were super nice, and they were always encouraging. And I really think that their feedback that they provided us with helped us get through the challenges that we were in.
And how about your teammate Andy Richter? What was it like being like teamed up with him for the contest?
Andy was amazing. He was super duper funny and nice, and he was pretty good at building also.
Really?
Yeah. In that first episode, once we got him into it, he really took off.
So did you give him some tips and pointers? You got him up to speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically did whatever we told him to, so.
What more can you ask for from a teammate?
Yeah, exactly.
And then what was the thing that surprised you most about being on this show and having this experience?
I think the thing that surprised me the most was definitely, I wasn't really used to working with a time limit. And in that first episode, it was really like trying to get used to the time limit aspect of the whole thing and working under a time crunch. Time management was definitely a key detail. And I also think that, just learning where things are in the brick pit was also a major challenge of the first episode.
Those are such good points, because if you think about it, when you're building at home, there's literally no time pressure. When something's finished, it's finished. You can order a part and wait for it to turn up. And you know how all of your own bricks are sorted. But I guess when you're going into someone else's build room, that's it. You've got your own system in place.
I mean, on the bright side, you have basically anything you would ever want. But
and does it feel like that when you're in there? Are you literally like, I've got any Lego element I could need here? Like, does it feel that way?
You basically have everything that isn't an extremely recent part, and you've got as much of it as you need. So,
for the first episode of Lego Masters, it was Disney themed. So what was the kind of concept of that first challenge? What did you have to do for it? What was the task?
The first task was we walked in. Kelly Osbourne was standing up there, and we saw the Brickmasters, and they talked to us about our first challenge, which was a table was filled with many different Disney minifigures, and we had to build a train layout based on the Disney minifigures we chose.
And which minifigures did you go for?
We chose Mickey and Minnie, so we had to build Toontown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to think about that kind of animated style and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially using as many colors as we could.
Yeah.
Really brought the animated style to life.
And how was that for you guys? Was it something you felt comfortable with, or was it something you straight away got into, or did you have to kind of think about how to tackle it and everything?
I mean, it definitely took a little bit to get used to. Like, I've never been to Toontown before, and I'm not like huge into Disney, so it took like a little bit to kind of get what the judges were looking for. But after we figured it out, then it worked out.
Yeah, I think for me it was the same way. I struggled with kind of laying it out in my head at first, but I think after we really got in the flow of things, we just kept going, and I think it turned out pretty well.
That covers all the questions that I got. Is there anything else that you want to share about like the beginning of your Lego Masters experience?
I think definitely like standing up in front of the Brickmasters was one of the most nerve-wracking parts, and I think waiting to find out like what place we got and kind of how we did was a whole new experience. And I definitely enjoyed the part where they gave us feedback on our builds and told us what we could do better for the next challenges.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to talk to me. Good luck in Lego Masters Junior. I hope to see how far you can go. And yeah, I'll be watching and I'll be cheering you guys on all of the way. Not that there's going to be any biased coverage at Blocks, but obviously with you being part of the team, Will, there, I'm really going to be looking forward to seeing how it all turns out.
Yeah.